So I've been wanting to do this for quite a long time. I want to see a few years. And I think today's the day to do it. And I'm launching this new series called CATerwaul, where I basically get to rant about all the things that goes on in this mind of mine and share it with you all. So we could all have a discussion together, basically. Today, because of Election Day, I really want to talk about anxiety, which is a funny thing for an architect to be talking about, but I swear there's a connection because psychology basically affects all of us, right? We're all human. We all experience worry. And for myself, I've had a really basically troubled history with anxiety and depression. And it's taken me all my life to learn all the tools and figure out what works for me. And for me, one of the tools that works best is when I'm faced with some sort of anxiety, especially something that is beyond my control, the result of this election. What helps me the most is to find ways of action, to basically focus on my internal locus of control, all the things that I can control within my power to move forward the beliefs and ideas that I believe in. I'm going to cut to my iPad and we can talk a little bit more about this. So let's talk more about the internal locus of control. It's basically a belief that you yourself have choices and control over your life and your actions. So things happen because of you, and it's not the other way around. It's not like things happen to you. It happens because of you. So today, instead of doom scrolling or checking the news every 5 seconds, I really want to encourage everyone to think about your own locus of control and start brainstorming what you can do regardless of what happens in this election. Regardless, create or brainstorm action items for yourself. And so I like to do this exercise where I think of myself as the catalyst. And from there, I think about my family and friends. I think about my town. I think about my state. And I think about my country. And I think about the earth. And from here, I can really create, a vision for myself as to all the things that I can do to enact change. Again, regardless of what happens outside of the world, these are things that I can do to enact change. So for myself, my good fight is climate action. So myself, I have a whole list of items for myself that I continue to experiment with. I wish I have all these ideals of how to live life, zero waste, plastic free, all that stuff. And it's a challenge, but I do, I do my best. And that's something that I will continue to strive for. Apart from myself, I think about my family and my friends. And how can I enact change in this way? climate action in particular, with my family and friends. And that could be as simple as talking. It could be as simple as modeling, the behavior that you want to see. At the community level, for me, this looks like volunteering for my clean energy task force in town. It might also mean engaging with local businesses to basically vote with my money on things that I want to see more of. At the state level, for me, this is tougher because there's, only so much time in in the day, and I can't always go to all the meetings and show up at all the functions or volunteer at the state level or even read all the articles that's happening. So for me, it means engaging with organizations that are plugged in. So for us, that's in Connecticut, that's Green Build Connecticut. And as silly as this sounds, it means writing letters to our local leaders because we want to create demand for climate action. And I really, really believe that once our leaders see that there's a demand, they will show up. But it takes us to be heard. We just have to be heard. So our voices need to be heard. And as silly as it sounds, writing letters does it. On a national level, I have a tough time with this one. I don't really quite know how I would like to show up on the national level for climate action. I'd like to, I think, I would like to get to a point where I'm doing some sort of education for climate action on a national level. And, maybe this CATerwaul series is doing that. But if you all have any ideas on what I could do on a national level, please tell me. On a global level, I really want to, and this kind of ties into the business, is I really want for 2025, my goal is to start contributing to 1% for the planet. And again, this is, I think this is part of, I grew up Catholic, no longer a practicing Catholic, but a lot of the concepts that I learned when I was little carry through. And it's basically, I think during Lenten season, it was always about, first of all, I was always into being of service. So I would donate and volunteer even as a little kid. And it's always about tithes, talent, and time. And so I think about these things still, even though I'm not a practicing Catholic. I think about voting with my money on the businesses, the organizations, the people that I believe in. I want to put my money into all of that, promote all of that. I want to give my talent to those who need it. And I want to give my time. to organizations that, or even my family members that need my time. Because at the end of it, I think what it comes down to it is that we all have to focus on giving more. And so I hope that you all, I know this is a little bit long-winded, but I hope you all think about this exercise today, and instead of doom scrolling and checking your news feed, make your own action item or brainstorm action items, and tell me what they are. Share it with me.